in the Lucas Oil Late Model Knoxville Nationals for the first time.
He's been close before.
In his career. Yeah, he has.
And he's in the Shepherd Riggs Racing Longhorn Factory car. And who else we got? Our friend Anthony over here with the SLMR. Who are you picking in? He's picking Devin Moran. I thought he told me that. He starts third in the 99.
Good pick. One of the most consistent drivers in the country.
He has never won this race.
No. No, Devin Moran has never won this race indeed. He's made the race 2 times. Best finish was 4th in 2019. His dad, Donnie Moran, a 6-time starter in the Lucas Oil Late Model Knoxville Nationals, presented by Your Life Iowa. Well, the field has buzzed the track, James, and they are now getting in formation for what we like to call one of the prettiest sights in all of racing. This is a salute to you, the greatest race fans in the entire world. And as they come around this time, Knoxville Raceway, let them hear you. It's the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, and they're coming at you 4 wide. James, there's just something special about the Lucas Oil Late Model Nationals.
No doubt about it.
The Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series at the sprint car capital of the world.
And again, earlier today, we announced that we will be back September 18th, 19th, and 20th, 2025. Mark it down for the 21st annual Lucas Oil Late Model Knoxville Nationals. My first one was in 05. I missed the very first one. That's the only one I have missed. And I've been here for the rest of them, and it's always exciting. You never know what's going to happen here. I mean, how many times have we seen a leader with 10 laps to go has not won the race? So a lot of storylines here tonight. Your drivers that have won, they got the top 2 in the points here the last 2 nights, Pierce and Davenport. Davenport's only won this race once. That was in 2022. Pierce trying to get his first. He was not here 1 year ago, Dustin.
The Brandon Ford pace truck has made the hard left-hand turn to the infield. It's Bobby Pierce on the pole, Jonathan Davenport on the outside. They fire in the Nutrien Ag Solutions starting zone, and the 20th annual Lucas Oil Knoxville Late Model Nationals is underway.
Pierce will slide into turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Moran will take a shot at Davenport down the back straightaway. In 75 laps, the length here tonight as they come out of turn 4. And Bobby Pierce will lead lap 1 here tonight at Knoxville. Moran will go to second around JD.
You just saw Devin Moran do what we saw a lot of these late models do here at Knoxville. They get that left front tire up on the inside berm of this racetrack. It helps steer the car around the corner. Very, very similar to what we see him do at Lernerville Speedway for the Firecracker 100.
The top 2 right now, what a year they have had. It's the best year of their racing career so far. And we still got more racing to go here in 2024. Pierce leads by 9/10 of a second. Davenport third, O'Neill fourth, McCready fifth. Keep an eye on that battle right there. Then Shepherd, Wilson, Gustin, Blair, Garrett Smith 10th with 3 in the books, Dustin. There's the battle there.
Yeah, that's the battle.
If O'Neill can stay there, he would clinch 4th spot in the points.
Yeah, once again, Hudson O'Neill comes into the event with a 15-point advantage over the Rocket 1 of Tim McCready. Of course, the irony is that Rocket 1, that was the car that Hudson O'Neill started the year in. Tim McCready started the year in the Paylor Motorsports, number 39. And now it's down to those 2 drivers for one final championship spot in this Big River Steel chase for the championship presented by ARP.
As a young teenager, O'Neill started his late model career for SSI Motorsports. Bobby Pierce still leads here at Knoxville. 4 laps in the books in 32 starters in this race. So right now on the same straightaway as your leaders, you see the battle there with O'Neill and the 1 of McCready. Out at turn number 2 down the back straightaway. They are going to be close, I'm sure, the entire 75 lap race. And right now O'Neill has the advantage. Bobby Pierce Pierce continues to lead on to turn 4, into turn 1 already. And Dustin, he's going to pick up the tail end of the field.
Yeah, it did not take long at all to do that, as we are on just lap number 6. There you see on the left side of the screen the Championship 4 battle. We'll keep you updated on where Hudson O'Neal and where Tim McCreadie runs. Again, 200 points for the driver that wins this race. Then it's 180 for second, 170 for third, 160 for fourth. Then it's 5-point increments all the way back to 21st. 21st is good for 75 points. Every driver from 21st on back receives 75 championship points.
Bobby Pierce heavy traffic down the main straightaway. Into turn number 1 around the 76 of Blair North, the second Tri-State late model title this year around the 62 of Seidner. Again, Moran runs in second. He's in the middle of the back straightaway. Davenport a distant third, and you have the battle for fourth on back between O'Neal and McCreadie.
Yeah, we keep it doubled up for you at home, as again, that is the Championship 4 battle right there to see who can lock themselves in. Hudson O'Neal with that 15-point cushion coming into this race. McCreadie going to try to work his way by, unable to do so right now. He's going to peek a nose down to the inside of Hudson O'Neal and momentarily take that spot away. It becomes official at the scoring loop at the stripe. There's your race leader, Bobby Pierce, on the left side of your screen. And now Tim McCreadie has worked ahead of Hudson O'Neal. But again, James, with the points, Hudson O'Neal right now still holds the advantage over him in the battle for that final Championship 4 transfer position.
Going to be the final 4 as we had a year ago with Thornton, Davenport, Moran. They've already punched their ticket. Will it be O'Neal? Will it be McCreadie? Is right now Bobby Pierce leads by 9/10 of a second. Devin Moran second. Davenport, McCreadie, O'Neal, Shepard, Dalton Wilson, Gustin, Blair, Brian Shirley runs in 10th, Dustin.
Yeah, Bobby Pierce right now with a 1-second advantage over Devin Moran. Moran, though, pedaling hard, as you see Boom Briggs and Chad Simpson side by side in front of them. There's the gap between your race leader and the second place car of Devin Moran. We look back now on a highly contested battle for the 6th spot. Brandon Shepard has it. Dalton Wilson trying to take it away.
Moran has got to get around the 93. Down the main straightaway, one of the Lawler cars into turn 1. Meanwhile, Davenport pedaling on the top. Here comes Davenport out of 2 down the back straightaway. As you see McCreadie and O'Neal and Shepard trying to make up time. Bobby Pierce, it's back to 1.6 seconds as he crosses the line here with the lead as Moran has finally cleared the 93 car, Dustin.
Devin Moran indeed does. He's now 1.6 seconds back, or he was that last time by of Bobby Pierce. But there you see Moran able to close back in. Pierce trying to work his way around the 25 of Simpson. Again, upper left-hand part of your screen, you can see that final Championship 4 battle between Tim McCreadie and Hudson O'Neal, where those drivers are running on the racetrack right now. McCreadie has that spot at the stripe, 60 laps to go in the 20th running of the Lucas Oil Knoxville Late Model Nationals. And James, here comes Devin Moran.
To get around Chad Simpson. Moran about 5 car lengths down, as having trouble trying to get around the 99B of Boom Briggs. Pierce has to go to the outside. Moran gets it in there hot on Chad Simpson. They almost made contact as they head down the back straightaway. It's down to 5/10 of a second. Into turn 3, Bobby Pierce, Devin Moran. Davenport remains 3rd, McCreadie 4th, O'Neal 5th. As they come off at turn 4, as Pierce has gone to the outside into turn number 1.
Bobby Pierce glued to the bottom of the racetrack for right now. A complete track rework. They dug up every inch of this racetrack. They watered it. They ran it back in. They waited for a little more cloud cover to try to get the best possible track surface they could get. There's a look back now on the battle for 7th, 8th, and 9th. That's the B5 of Brandon Shepard. He's the current World of Outlaw Series points leader. Meanwhile, back up at the front of the field, business picking up for the 2nd spot, James. Jonathan Davenport takes it away from Devin Moran and Tim McCreadie right there. McCreadie needs to gain another spot to momentarily move into that 4th position in the Big River Steel Championship 4 chase.
As we scored 19-75, it's still Pierce, Davenport, Moran, McCreadie, O'Neal, Wilson, Shepard, Gustin, Blair, Shirley, your top 10. Now Gustin moves up, and we got our first Dave Warren Power Sports caution of the race.
And Ryan Gustin, the Marshalltown, Iowa native, with trouble on the Todd Cooney Racing number 30. That will bring out the Dave Warren Power Sports caution with 19 laps down, 56 laps remaining in the Lucas Oil Late Model Knoxville Nationals, presented by Your Life Iowa. trouble for the Reaper, Ryan Gustin, 19 laps into this evening's main event here at Knoxville Raceway. And he is going to make his way into the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit with damage on that race car, Ben.
Yeah, he's got damage on the right side, part of the nose of that Todd Cooney Motorsports number 30. Several teams down here trying to help get that piece of plastic pulled back up to rejoin the back of the pack. And it looks like we'll see Ryan Gustin back out on the speedway. All 4 tires are up on the 30.
All right, thanks a lot, Ben. Several teams down there going to work on that Todd Cooney Motorsports number 30. 19 laps scored. Bobby Pierce has been your leader since the drop of the green flag. Nobody has ever led this race, green to checkered, here at Knoxville. Jonathan Davenport currently runs second. Devin Moran right now runs third. And James in that battle for the final Big River Steel Championship 4 position. Tim McCready runs 4th. Hudson O'Neal runs 5th, but that's only a 5-point difference right now. There's a look at those 2 drivers. Hudson O'Neal in the 71 comes in with a 15-point advantage. So right now, McCready's 1 spot ahead, but where they run on the racetrack, 4th and 5th, McCready only able to gain 5 spots on him, or 5 points on him at this point in time.
Yeah, a lap or 2 ago, Davenport got around Moran, so Delaware double file restart till 10 or less laps to go in this race. So it'll be Pierce out by himself. Then Davenport will have the pick of inside or out. Then it'll be Moran, McCready, O'Neal, Wilson, Shepard, Shirley, Blair. Gustin was 10th, and that'll move Carson Ferguson into that spot. Do we have an early Todd Steel Buildings hard charger?
Yes, we do, and it's Brian Shirley, the driver you just talked about. He started back in the 15th position, and he has currently worked his way, as you mentioned, up to 8th. So the wheel and caution lights have been turned out around the speedway. The Lucas Oil Brandon Ford Pace truck has made its way back to the infield, and they're going to go back to green flag racing this time by with 19 laps scored, 56 laps to go, and Bobby Pierce has been your leader since the drop of the green.
Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series all lap cars restart on the tail. I believe we still have all 32 starters out, and we've got 31 as O'Neal goes to the outside. O'Neal now around Davenport. Not a good restart for JD as Moran and O'Neal, and O'Neal's going to go to second.
Wow.
He was running at 5th, up 3 spots on the restart as we score lap 20, Dustin.
And that momentarily will greatly pad his advantage over Tim McCready in that battle for the final Big River Steel Championship 4 position. McCready 5th that time by the stripe. He'll now try to go to the outside of the racetrack just behind this lead duo of Bobby Pierce. There's McCready. You see him working the outside of the racetrack. That groove now starting to come in. Davenport slipped up a little bit as McCready gave him a shot in the shorts coming down the front straightaway.
The 2 Wiley veterans out of turn number 2. Davenport 3, Lucas Oil titles, McCready 2. Bobby Pierce looking for win number 34 here in 2024. You see the battle. Track is good, Dustin. Shepard to the top. McCready to the top into turn number 1. 22 complete here tonight.
Yeah, 22 laps in the books, 53 laps to go. Brian Shirley there on the right side of your screen continues to work his way through the field as well. As you saw him try to work around the 18D Dalton Wilson, he'll do so, and he'll make it official this time by the stripe. McCready still married to the top, down in 3 and 4. He'll tuck back down to the bottom in 1 and 2 and try to work around the 49 of Jonathan Davenport. Again, McCready in 5th. Hudson O'Neal right now in 2nd.
McCready's only winner in Knoxville 2008 in the Sweetener Plus 39. Brandon Carl Myers right now in the 5th spot. Bobby Pierce last time around was 1.2 over O'Neal. It's up to 1.6 for the Oakwood, Illinois drivers. Hall of Fame father Bob Pierce, the crew chief. And right now, with the lead, he's led every lap so far here at Knoxville off of turn 4, DJ.
As it stands right now with Hudson O'Neal currently. Oh man, here comes McCready. Got a good run down to the inside, and here comes Brian Shirley, the 2006 Lucas Oil late model Knoxville Nationals champion. Yep, absolutely is working his way through the field. And James, when he won that year, it was not sanctioned by the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. Hard to believe Brian Shirley still has never won a Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series sanctioned event.
He brought out a caution on the race, restarted 31st, if I recall, came to win that. So he was the Todd Steel Buildings hard charger last night. He's going to gain another spot. Brian Shirley has a good hot rod. He goes to 4th, Dustin Jarrett, for the veteran out of Chatham, Illinois, as we stay green into 1.
He started in 15th. We'll double it up for you at home and keep an eye on the 3S of Brian Shirley. Your race leader, Bobby Pierce, starting to work his way through the back of the field. And again, the upper left-hand part of the screen, that championship 4 battle. Hudson O'Neal currently running second. Tim McCready runs 6th. And as it stands right now, it would be a 45-point advantage that Hudson O'Neal would have on Tim McCready in the fight for that final spot in the Big River Steel Chase for the championship.
Devin Moran all over O'Neal there in turn number 2 as they battle lap traffic. Off of turn 4, Bobby Pierce, it was 2.2 seconds the last time around. That Low Voltage Solutions Oker Trucking 32. O'Neal second, Moran, Brian Shirley last time around. Well, it was Shepard was the fastest car on the track, but before that it was Brian Shirley in the 3S who has climbed to 4th in car 3S. Hey, 31st to 1st. This making it look easy right here tonight.
Absolutely.
15th to 4th in just 30 laps.
It's been a good year for Brian Shirley. You talked about it earlier. To see him now stalking the 99 of Devin Moran. Brian Shirley comes into the event 7th in the World of Outlaws point standings. He's got 6 wins on the year. He's made this race 12 times, James. He'd love nothing more than to get a 2nd win in this prestigious event. More importantly, get his first ever win. The Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. Don't look now, but Tim McCready has worked his way around the 49 of Jonathan Davenport.
Yeah, Davenport fading back. How about a shout out to the 3S crew there? Caden Cam Ludwig, the crew chief on that car. And they roll. You got the top 2nd, 3rd, and 4th into turn 3, all right there, nose to tail, DJ. Meanwhile, Pierce still leads 2 by 2. Here comes the battle for 2nd. A good one here. O'Neal, Shirley, and Moran, DJ.
Boy, Brian Shirley is looking really, really good in that 3S. Hudson O'Neal now on the high side. They're trying to work their way around the 99 via Boom Briggs. And Brian Shirley's got a good run on Jonathan Davenport, on Devin Moran down the back straightaway into 3 and 4. Moran on the high side. Shirley on the bottom. Man, I got close coming out of 4. Moran able to hang on here. 33 laps into this race.
And they're going up top now as they go down the back straightaway. Devin Moran, Brian Shirley. Oh, he almost got, was that Matt Furman?
Yes.
Off the pace, and that was close. And will Furman make it back to the pit area? Man, that was close for Brian Shirley, but Bobby Pierce still leads O'Neal, Moran, Shirley, McCready, and slowing Ross Robinson on the main straightaway.
Yeah, and Dylan McCowan slow over in turn 2 as well, and those drivers slowing on the racetrack will bring out our 2nd Dave Warren Power Sports caution flag of the night. 34 laps in the books, 41 laps remaining here at Knoxville with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. Trouble for the defending Lucas Oil MLRA Rookie of the Year, Dylan McCowan, out of Urbana, Missouri. As the driver of the Pomeroy Services Sonic America's drive-in number 8 has an issue on the rear end of that race car, maybe a flat right rear tire on that entry. And that is what has brought out the latest caution flag here in this race, James. Bobby Pierce has been your leader since the drop of the green flag on this one. Hudson O'Neal has worked his way up to 2nd. Right now, though, all eyes have been on Brian Shirley, who started 15th. He's worked his way up to 4th.
No doubt about it. Early contender for the Todd Steele Building's hard charger. Brandon Shepard is 6th. Jonathan Davenport is back to 7th. Dalton Wilson 8th, Marler 9th, Blair 10th. Everybody thought Davenport's going to start on the front row. He'll walk away with it, but he has lost positions here in the last 10 laps. But that is Brian Shirley. Again, Cam Ludwig, what a job he has done on the crew chief. They have been on fire since about, what, mid-August.
Yeah. So he's up 11 spots. You know who else is slowly working his way through the field, James?
How
about the 3-time winner of this race, Mike Marler in the 157, started 18th. He now finds his way inside the top 10. Ben, down to you.
Wholesale action down here in the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit. Jimmy Owens pulled in, talked to his crew for a second, went back out. They kind of threw their hands up in the air. Meanwhile, Dylan McCowan completely shredded the right rear on the number 8. They're going to get a new tire on that race car. And the Todd Cooney Racing number 30 of Ryan Gustin back down here for more work on the front of that race car. Now they're going to put a new right front tire on that 30. Guys, we've talked about it. A lot of teams are worried about the right front tire as this race goes on, and we're going to see a new right front going on Ryan Gustin's number 30.
But, Ben, we talked about Brian Shirley, the spin to win here back in 2006. He was the Todd Steele Building's hard charger last night. Might as well do it again, right? He has been really good here.
Yeah, and he really can put that car anywhere that he wants it. That has been clutch right now. So we'll see what happens as this one goes on. But obviously, Bobby Pierce has been the class of the field, and the race within the race, Hudson O'Neal doing exactly what he needs to do in position 2.
Yeah, exactly. Hudson O'Neal right now, he's got a 15-point advantage coming into this race, James. As it stands right now, he would stand to gain 25 more points on Tim McCreadie. So if the race ended right now, Hudson O'Neal would lock into the championship 4 with a 40-point cushion on Tim McCreadie.
I don't think he's worried about it. He wants to win the race, right?
Absolutely he does. That's what everybody wants to do.
Brandon Smith out of the race, and Corey Lawler's backup. Justin Zeidner is retired as well. Matt Furman will finish in 30th here tonight. So again, all lap cars restart on the tail. Delaware double file restart, 34 complete. We still have 43 to go, but what about that battle for second? O'Neal, Moran, Shirley. Now, Brian Shirley, let's see where he's going to line up. He'll line up in the 4th right now, but he'll go side by side as O'Neal picks the top on Devin Moran, and that'll move McCreadie to the bottom. You never know here in Knoxville. We say it all the time. You could be leading one lap and going back to 5th the next lap, but Pierce has held his own so far. He's been comfortably out in front. As Ross Robinson to the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit, and Amanda right on the nose of that car.
Yeah, Ross Robinson, I don't know if he got into the back of someone or what, but definitely a little bit of damage there on the snout of that number 7 as the crew going to work on that entry just as we get ready to go back to green flag racing. Also, one driver stopped. Coming to the attention of Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series officials on the inside of the track coming off turn number 4. Is that Chad Simpson maybe?
I believe so.
4-time Lucas Oil MLRA champ, currently leading that series point standings also.
Currently now the top rookie in this race is Carson Ferguson, who runs 13th. You want to know about Ricky Thorne Jr., the current points leader. He is 17th right now in that Kohler Motorsports entry. But Bobby Pierce in that low voltage solutions, Hoker Trucking 32 in command from the start is Ross Robinson down there in the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit. Again, get your favorite Heartbeat Hot Sauce product, Dustin, heartbeathotsauce.com or at Amazon.
What's your favorite?
Red jalapeno? Is that on there?
That sounds good.
Okay, let's you accept that.
Pineapple for life.
Put that on your grilled cheese sandwich, right?
That's right.
1,000 grilled cheese sandwiches last night.
The grilled cheese.
We didn't eat the 1,000, but
no,
they served up 1,000.
Hungry enough right now, I probably could.
What do you think so far, man?
Like any other, it's been good. It's been really good so far, yeah. Best race of the weekend here so far right here tonight. And ironically, Bobby Pierce, though, has led every single lap, something no one has ever done in the 20-year history of this race. Pierce trying to change that here tonight. He's out front on this Delaware double file restart. Second place, Hudson O'Neal chooses the outside lane, James. That's where he got a real good run the last time we had a restart. 34 laps scored, 41 laps remaining.
Also an Arizona Sports Shirts Crown Jewel Cup race, Brandon Ford TV Challenge race into turn 1. Brian Shirley trying to go to the middle. He'll slide up the track. O'Neal still has second. Bobby Pierce still leads. Now McCreadie will take a shot. Here comes Brandon Sheppard to the outside.
And here comes Hudson O'Neal for the lead as he's got a run on Bobby Pierce through turns 3 and 4. Hudson O'Neal in the SSI Motorsports 71 out front here at Knoxville on lap number 34.
So the string will continue. Nobody has ever won this race that led every lap as Hudson O'Neal in front of lap 35. Pierce Shirley. Brian Shirley up to second. Brian Shirley 15th. Let's see, Mikey Marlar's up to 9th. Here's the battle for the lead. O'Neal and Pierce almost got together. Down the straightaway, does Pierce retake the lead? No, O'Neal leads into turn 1.
They all better hustle, because I'm telling you right now, Brian Shirley is on the move, man. There's a look at the Chatham, Illinois driver. It's number 3S. The 2006 Lucas Oil Late Model Knoxville Nationals champ is pedaling hard as you got a good battle up front for the lead. Bobby Pierce not letting Hudson O'Neal out of the crosshairs.
Moran has fallen to 6th now. Dalton Wilson 7th. Davenport is back to 8th. Marlar 9th. Garrett Alverson runs in 10th. Hudson O'Neal down the back straightaway. His dad, Don, won this race in 2011. Right now, 3 car lengths the advantage over Bobby Pierce as they come off at turn 4. Double them up. We may need to triple them up before this one's over. Let's do quadruple. I don't care. It's a great show so far.
Look at Brandon Sheppard. Brandon Sheppard on the move in the B5. We thought the 3S of Brian Shirley might be the one to beat. Shep, though, looking good in that entry, and he's trying to bring Timmy McCreadie with him. The SSI Motorsports 71 of Hudson O'Neal out front. That team won this race last year. It was Ricky Thornton Jr. behind the wheel. He's now got Pressure from Bobby Pierce again. Things getting dicey as we close ears. We're just past the halfway point here at Knoxville, James.
Tip of the cap to the track crew. It took them a while, but they've got it top notch. Off at turn 4, the battle for lead. O'Neal and Pierce, two of the most famous last names in dirt late model racing history. As the third generation driver, Hudson O'Neal. Second generation, Bobby Pierce goes third behind at a turn 2. Still leading, but Brandon Sheppard is making up time. Here comes the Dude White's B5. Here he comes.
Realtree camo, baby. It's that time of year. You saw on the right side of your screen the one of Tim McCready getting shuffled there just a little bit. He currently runs 6 back up the front of the field. Bobby Pierce with a good run on Hudson O'Neal. O'Neal, though, with the momentum on the outside. Remember a few laps ago, James, we said that they better go and go now because Brian Shirley was coming. They better go and go now because Brandon Sheppard coming in the B5, and they can't see him because he's in camo.
Knoxville is the best. Pierce will go to the bottom. He'll throw the slider. And at turn 2, Bobby Pierce is going to lead 42 in the books. Sheppard third, Shirley fourth, Wilson fifth. Moran has gotten around McCready. McCready back to 7th, Dustin.
The Perminator. Dalton Wilson, man, he's looking pretty good in the 18D. He's trying to close in on him as well. It's getting sporty here in the second half of the race at Knoxville. Pierce, Hudson O'Neal, Brandon Sheppard, Brian Shirley, and Dalton Wilson there. The battle for third on the right side of your screen. Tim McCready, as you see in the upper left, he's fallen back to 7th, losing a little bit of grip here on that Championship 4 battle as he tries to race his way into that Big River Steel Championship 4. Hudson O'Neal now, though, right now with a comfortable advantage over the Rocket 1.
Boom Briggs out of the race, by the way. Drake Troutman, the O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year candidate right now, the top rookie. He's behind another rookie, Garrett Carson Ferguson. So Troutman up 10 spots. Continues to be Pierce, O'Neal, Sheppard. 45 complete here at Knoxville.
Looks like Dalton Wilson's got the brace there on the roof post there, kind of bent back on that 18D, not slowing that car down any, though, as he's going to try to work around Brian Shirley, and Shirley's closed back in on Brandon Sheppard. They're all kind of right there together, James. Nobody has more than a 0.6 of a second advantage throughout the entire top 8 in this race.
You know he's wanting to win for Gullett. You know Gullett's riding along with him. Jeff Gullett, we lost him a couple of weeks ago. Dalton through the middle. Moran behind him. McCready, Davenport, Marlar, Albertson, your top 10. Pierce still leads in car 32, 1.4 seconds with 47.
Trouble for Daniel Hilsebeck in the 22. He pulls off the racetrack, so it looks like his weekend is finished. Worth noting the current Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series points leader Ricky Thornton Jr. running in the 13th position in this one. Is look at that gaggle of cars back there battling, James. That is 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and everybody on your screen. Brian Shirley in 4th in the 3. Devin Moran in the 99, the 18D of Dalton Wilson, and the Rocket 1 of Tim McCready.
Yeah, Pierce had to throw the slider up front here, get around Garrett Smith. And O'Neal second, 49. We'll have 25 to go next time around. There's the 32 car down the back straightaway. So O'Neal had a great restart after the caution, but Bobby Pierce has gotten around him as we've got 25 to go, Dustin, here at Knoxville.
Yeah, good luck there at the gap. Bobby Pierce has been able to put on your second place car, Hudson O'Neal. We'll check it this time by at the scoring loop, 1.6 seconds. In trouble for Dylan McCowan directly in front of your race leader. McCowan's able to wrestle the car off the wall, and we stay green, but the pucker factor went up a notch right there for the 32 of Bobby Pierce.
O'Neal now will have to work around the 10 of Garrett Smith. He will claim him. Now you've got the lap car. I believe that's Clay Harris between first and second. No, that's Dylan McCowan. Now you got 2 wide in front of Bobby Pierce. Here comes O'Neal. He's got to clear McCowan. He has to back out of it. Dylan slid up the track. Dylan has been impressive his first Knoxville trip. But here comes Pierce out of 4. And he's got Chris Simpson and Tyler Bruning in front of him.
Yeah, he does. He's also got Jimmy Owens right there as well. So the 2-second advantage Bobby Pierce has with the clean air no longer in front of him. You're going to see that foiled. Still just an incredible battle back here. 3rd, 4th, and 5th on your screen. Brian Shirley going to momentarily reclaim that 3rd spot. There you see him take it away from Brandon Sheppard. And Devin Moran trying to work to the outside of Sheppard. They make contact off corner number 4. They're able to keep it clean somehow. Tim McCready, Dalton Wilson, all right there as well. Man, that got hairy for a second.
They're going at it. It's 2.1 seconds. Bobby Pierce now still in control here. You see Dalton Wilson slides up the track as they get around McCowan. He's a lap down. Moran, McCready, Davenport, Marlar, Alberson, Carson Ferguson 10th. Troutman is 11th. Gustin from the back after pitting earlier. He's up to 12th in car 30.
The Reaper cometh, and Tim McCready cometh as well as the Rocket 1 trying to work his way around Devin Moran right there. So Tim McCready currently sits in the 7th spot, man. 20 laps to go. He's got to go. You see there in the upper left-hand part of the screen where Hudson O'Neal and where Tim McCready currently run on the racetrack, and a flat tire for Mike Marlar. The 3-time Lucas Oil Late Model Knoxville Nationals champion had come from the 18th starting position inside the top 10, and he draws the Dave Warren Power Sports caution with 20 laps to go. An absolutely shredded right rear tire on the Skyline Motorsports 157 of Mike Marlar. You see him signaling to the crew to get a new right rear chute put on that Longhorn race car. Several guys down there lifting that race car up, and Ben, they got a new right rear ready to put on the 157.
That's right. Mike Marlar down there in the Heartbeat Hot Sauce hot pit, as is Corey Lawler, as is Dylan McCowan. Meanwhile, Garrett Smith went straight to the trailer, as did Iowa's Chad Simpson. Both of those drivers out of the party here tonight.
All right, Ben, thanks a lot for that update. Bobby Pierce remains out front. Hudson O'Neal second. Brian Shirley third. Brandon Shepard fourth. And Dalton Wilson rounding out the top 5. And James, let's go ahead and take a look at the instant replay and see what happened to Mike Marlar. He may have gotten into the wall. I don't know if that was before or after he blew the right rear tire.
It's been a tough couple of months. He took off for a couple of weekends. Always runs well here at Knoxville. By the way, Todd Steel Building's hard charger still Brian Shirley 15th to 3rd. Drake Troutman 22nd to 12th in car number 7, DJ.
Yep, as they get that new right rear tire put on. That Greg Bruning owned 157 driven by Mike Marlar. Ben, down to you.
Also, guys, a storyline down here. Nothing significant yet, but some sprinkles are starting to fall down here in the Heartbeat Hot Sauce hot pit. Tyler Erb also out of the race.
Wow. 20 laps to go. It'll be Bobby Pierce, Hudson O'Neal, Brian Shirley, Brandon Shepard, Dalton Wilson in your top 5. Then it's Devin Moran, Tim McCready, Jonathan Davenport, Garrett Alberson, Carson Ferguson, Drake Troutman, Ryan Gustin, Ricky Thorne Jr., Max Blair, Chase Younghands. Your top 15 has, we still have a couple of cars down there. They do get courtesy laps for flat tires.
I mean, just an insurmountable amount of storylines here. The championship 4 locking in. Who will get that 4th and final spot in that? Will it be O'Neal? Will it be McCready? Bobby Pierce trying to continue his hot summer and win this race for the first time. Brian Shirley looking to get his first ever Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series win. And oh, by the way, Mother Nature rearing her head into the storyline discussion as well, with 55 laps scored and 20 laps remaining here at Knoxville. The yellow lights have been turned off. The Knoxville Raceway paint truck is going to make its way into the infield. Light sprinkles in the air, not enough to stop the action though. In this one, just 20 laps remain, and Bobby Pierce is your leader. James Hudson O'Neal going to choose that outside lane once again on this restart.
Nutrien Solutions restart zone. Pierce has led 47 laps. O'Neal has led 8. Brian Shirley from 15th to 2nd. And O'Neal almost got in the wall. He does, and they're 3 wide out of 2. Here comes Dalton Wilson at 18. They're trying to make it still 3 wide at a turn 3.
And here comes McCready in that battle for the championship 4.
And he guts around on the inside. He'll get around O'Neal. They're 3 wide at a turn 4.
Oh,
Shepard
baby.
through the middle. They know the rain is coming. 56 scored.
Tim McCready. Oh, Tim McCready's got enough of a gap right now. He's got the 4th position in the championship, James.
O'Neal will charge. They'll go 3 wide. Alberson on the bottom at a turn 3. Up top is Shepard, but Bobby Pierce is pulling away. Brian Shirley 2nd. Tim McCready now 3rd at car number 1.
Oh, here comes, look at that. Oh, man, Hudson O'Neal losing some positions on the outside of the racetrack. Tim McCready, if it ended right now, Tim McCready would give that final transfer spot. Sprinkles continue to fall. Coming around this time, 17 laps to go. It's Bobby Pierce, Brian Shirley, and now Tim McCready, the top three.
2.5 seconds the advantage. Brian Shirley is 15th to second, but he's about a straightaway behind Pierce. Down the back straightaway, McCready once more. Tim McCready into turn number 3. Dalton Wilson solid in 4th. Moran 5th. There you see a gaggle of cars back there. O'Neal is letting it slip away in 71 as they come down the straightaway, Dustin, with 59 scored here tonight.
Yeah, Hudson O'Neal right now 8th, Tim McCready 3rd. O'Neal leads McCready by 15 points in the battle for that final championship Ford transfer spot. As they run on the track right now, it would be McCready getting that final transfer spot, as he's got about a
O'Neal's going to lose
right
more.
Now. Yeah, and O'Neal
got in, and O'Neal's got a problem. He slows on the main straightaway when he's got a tire down in 71.
Hudson O'Neal with issues on the 71. I don't know if it's a tire down or maybe some sort of vibration. It looked like maybe all 4 tires were up on that entry.
He got in there on Davenport. Yeah, Ben.
And guys, the sprinkles are getting harder down here. The storylines are aplenty right now with 15 laps remaining.
Wow. Unbelievable. 15 laps to go in this one. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Flow Racing instant replay here, as O'Neal is going to make his way down to the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit. And you see trouble, the 71, that SSI Motorsports entry right there.
Yeah, they're going to put a new right rear tire on that race car. Jimmy Owens is back down in here. Ricky Thornton Jr. down here as well. There's a lot of business, the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit, with 15 laps remaining and sprinkles falling from the sky.
Ben, I know that you're down there. We're up here in the booth. Can you put into words how hard those sprinkles are right now, enough in your opinion to slow up the action?
Right now, I don't think it stops anything. If it gets a little bit more challenging, they're going to at least have to make some laps around here. And let's also not forget, fuel consumption was a concern here tonight, so that's something else to keep your mind on with these cautions. And if we have an extended caution with the sprinkles right now, though, not enough to keep them from going back green flag.
Well, Brian Shirley has gone from 15th to 2nd, and now he'll be right on Pierce here on the restart. But how about Ryan Gustin? A shout out to him. He pitted earlier in this race, brought up the first caution. He has recovered up to 9th in this race, Dustin.
Yeah, absolutely a real good run for him. Here's a look at the sprinkles, and to Ben's point, not enough really to slow things down. To that point, you certainly don't want too many laps under caution as well, but not enough right now to stop the program. Ben?
And guys, I know everybody can see the Jumbotron if you're watching at home. It's not that intense down here. It looks a lot worse on there than it is down here, but again, if it gets any heavier, they're going to have to evaluate the situation.
Oh, and Brian Shirley is slowed to a stop now at the end of the front straightaway as well. I don't know if there's an issue on the 3S or if maybe he is adjusting something inside that race car. Or maybe some belts, but there's a look at the defending winner of this race, Ricky Thornton Jr., as they're getting the 20 RT situated. The damage on that, the right rear of that race car, Ben.
And Hudson's going to make his way back out. New right rear tire on the 71. So Hudson's got a long way to go, hoping to get these last 15 laps in to have a chance here tonight as crews continue to work on Ricky Thornton Jr. A lot of right rear damage, you said, on the quarter panel and on the spoiler. They got some braces that are hanging down below as well, as the sprinkle's getting just a tick harder. And guys, I have a feeling we're getting about to have to stop these guys for a second because this rain's really starting to pick up.
Brian Shirley is going to get pushed here as well. So just add that to the mounting storylines here tonight with 15 laps to go. He's come from 15th to 2nd. And we'll see if he's able to get the fire rebuilt underneath the hood of the 3S. So Brian Shirley able to get going again, refired again, as you see the sprinkles off in the background there with 15 laps to go in this one. Man, oh man.
Shirley is stalled again in turn 2. So it's Pierce, Shirley, McCready, Wilson, Moran, top 5. Garrett Alberson is up to 6th. Shepard, Davenport, Gustin, and Carson Ferguson. There you see Bob Pierce down there, the Hall of Famer.
Austin Hemmon there on the left as well.
The other thing you've got to keep in mind is this racetrack, as it started to slick up as this feature goes. If it rains very much, it is easy to lose this racetrack. If you get a glaze on top of where it's already slicked up, the moisture just has nowhere to go. So right now, this drizzle's hard enough. It's actually a pretty heavy sprinkle. I think they're going to keep them under caution, but if we get much more of this, man, this could be a knockout punch for this feature.
I feel bad for Brian Shirley, who's just sitting parked over there with, unfortunately, nobody over there to assist him to try to get the fire going back again underneath the hood of the 3S, as the driver currently running second in this race waits very patiently for someone to come and check on him, and he's signaling again for a push truck or someone to
please help, right?
Yes, absolutely.
By the way, second place pays $25,000 here tonight.
At $196,000 purse.
Yeah, $25,000 for second, $10,000 and $87.50. Yeah, almost $200,000, $253,000 for the weekend. So Brian Shirley getting a push.
No, that car's not firing.
Down the back straightaways, done such a great job here tonight. Hoping it refires. Bobby Pierce 15 laps away from his 34th win of the year, and another big one.
And James, you can see the rain picking up there as well, kind of in the background. Man, oh man, it is an incredibly small cell that just happened to hover right over top of Knoxville, Iowa, as they are going to pull these race cars into the infield for the time being and into the staging lane with the rain falling here at Knoxville Raceway. 60 laps in the books, 15 laps to go. All right, well, you see the cars have made their way to the infield here at Knoxville as they try to wait out this passing shower. For those of you watching at home, don't go anywhere. 60 laps scored, 15 laps remaining in the 20th running of the Lucas Oil Knoxville Late Model Nationals presented by Your Life Iowa. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Knoxville Raceway for the Lucas Oil Late Model Knoxville Nationals, presented by Your Life Iowa. If you are a loved one or facing problems with substance use, gambling, or mental health, Your Life Iowa offers 24/7 free and confidential support. You can call, text, or chat at yourlifeiowa.org. Well, the rain has pretty much stopped, and we're in a holding pattern here with 60 laps scored, 15 laps remaining here in this evening's event as the push trucks go out there, run this racetrack back in. We still have 15 laps to go in this one, and we still have the Malvern Bank Super Late Model Series race to go coming after this as well.
Wow. Well, John McCoy's confident we're going to get this in. 15 laps to go, and then we got the Malvern Bank Super Late Model Series. They will follow that, but be curious to see what is going on with Brian Shirley down there. Again, he's come from 15th to 2nd in this race, and he will have the choose on the Delaware double file restart. McCready is to 3rd, and what a comeback he has made after that last caution, DJ, to get back up in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Dalton Wilson currently runs 4th, and Devin Moran runs 5th. Again, with 15 laps remaining here this evening. Garrett Alberson is 6th. Brandon Shepard 7th. Jonathan Davenport is 8th. Ryan Gustin rebounding from that early race caution. He is back up to 9th. And Carson Ferguson currently rounds out the top 10. We unofficially have 18 drivers still on the lead lap, and I believe 21 drivers still officially running in this race.
And Gustin was the first caution back on lap 19, so he had to restart on the tail.
He went to the tail on lap 19, and he's worked his way back up to, the 9th spot?
Yes, sir.
How about that? So the cars, you see them sitting down there in the staging lane. See a few of the teams out there taking covers off of the race cars. See the 49 team taking the cover off. I see, looks like Brandon Shepard's team, Max Blair's team taking the covers off. The rain has stopped here at Knoxville, and the push trucks are out there packing this racetrack back in as we get ready to run the final 15 laps of this 20th annual Lucas Oil Knoxville Late Model Nationals presented by Your Life Iowa. And there's a look at your current race leader, Bobby Pierce.
Right now, I have Garrett Smith out of the race. He'll finish 22nd. Tyler 23rd, Nodor 24th, and so on. But 21 cars still on the racetrack. Corey Lawler is a couple laps down. So is McCowan. McCowan's 1 lap down. Bruning's down 1 lap. And then from Marlar, who's 18th, still on the lead lap. Those are the top 18 still with 60 laps scored here tonight, 15 left.
Well, Bobby Pierce has led 52 of the 60 laps in this race. James Hudson O'Neill was able to lead 8 laps, and unfortunately trouble on the right rear of that race car has put him all the way back unofficially in the 16th position in this one. There's a look at the Rocket 1 of Tim McCready, who currently runs in 3rd. And with 15 laps to go in this race, McCready right now holds that final spot in the Big River Steel Championship 4. There's a look at the SSI Motorsports 71 of Martinsville, Indiana's Hudson O'Neill. So not an open red flag in the sense that they can do work or change tires on the race cars, but because they have run several caution laps here, James, and they buzzed the track at the start of this, they are going to allow the teams to put fuel in these race cars. That is the only thing that can be done. They can't make any adjustments. They cannot change any tires, but they can add fuel if they choose to these race cars. Yeah,
but they can't fix the sheet metal. We can't bring out a pop rivet gun on Dalton Wilson, but Dalton driving hard here tonight and right now in that 4th spot, so he will line up in that spot. So again, Pierce will be out front by himself. Shirley McCready will be side by side. Wilson and Moran, and then Alberson, Shepard, Davenport, and mentioned Gustin and Carson Ferguson. So it's not over yet, folks. There's Max Blair, the 111. He right now is running in 15th. So, again, 18 cars still on the lead lap.
And you see several crew members grabbing those fuel jugs and grabbing the funnels as well to put fuel in those race cars if they so choose. The only change that can be made during this red flag with 60 laps scored, 15 laps remaining here in this race. So Brian Shirley currently right now, you mentioned he's in the second spot. He's the second car in the staging lane there at the end of the staging lane behind the one of Tim McCready. And he was having some trouble out there. He slowed to a stop at the end of the front straightaway. We weren't sure if there was an issue on the car or if he was trying to get the attention of someone or maybe readjust his belts or receiver. They got a push truck behind him. They pushed him. He only made it over to turn 2 before he got pushed back into the staging lane.
That caution may be a lifesaver for him, Ben.
Hey, guys, we're down here with Brian Shirley. Brian, after the caution came out, you stalled. What happened there?
Yeah, I'm really not for sure. I've been thinking that I've probably been blowing up for about 15, 20 laps or so. So I'm either out of fuel or, unfortunately, our night's over. So if the good Lord bless us with us being out of fuel and getting a pit stop, maybe we can get a shot at it. But for about 15 laps or so, it's been running pretty bad. And on that restart, I actually pushed real bad. I thought I was going to get past, and then luckily I was able to still get the second. But all in all, just real proud of everybody, and we'll see what happens.
All right, guys, Brian Shirley, he might be a guy that hopes another shower shows up before we go back green, or the fuel may resolve the issue. Either way, some issues for Brian Shirley. He's come from 15th to 2nd. He's had a really good run tonight. Sitting in the 4th spot right now, Dalton Wilson, and he's sitting down here on the grid. And Dalton, 9th to 4th right now. It's kind of been one of these weekends here at Knoxville. What goes through your mind when you have a rain delay with 15 to go and you're in the top 5?
I wish I'd have just threw the checker myself, but we're just hanging out down here and see what happens.
You've been good here. You don't have many laps at this place, though. And how hard is it to get refocused after you just went 60 laps? You got 15 to go. You're waiting on them to drive the track. And as you sit here and look at it, what do you see?
Well, I mean, we're all on hard tires, and we run 60 hard ones right now. So everybody's stuff's sitting out here sealing up. And with the rain, it ain't helping anything. But like I said, there's no telling what kind of racetrack we're getting ready to get back out here on. And we'll see what we can do. I can't thank all my guys enough. They busted their butts this week. We've been from zero to hero to in the middle, and we'll be hanging around here at the end of 75 laps is huge. We'll see if we can't get a few more spots to get her done.
All right, guys. Dalton Wilson, he sits in the 4th spot. Behind him, Devin Moran sits in 5th. Devin's had a little of everything in this one as well. Devin, you're sitting in position number 5. Early in the race, looked like you had a car that could go to the lead. What has been the biggest thing you've been battling?
I just bottomed out there on that one restart, getting in the one, and shuffled myself back and just trying to work my way back up through there. But 15 to go with this little bit of rain, I think that's actually going to change the track up quite a bit. So might be pretty entertaining here at the end.
All right, guys, Devin Moran, he rounds out the top 5. We'll get some more updates down here momentarily, but right now it's a hurry up, sit and wait, as again, the pack trucks are out on the racetrack trying to get this moisture dried up to get the last 15 laps of not only a $50,000 to win race in the books, but also that final spot in the Big River Steel Chase for the championship presented by ARP.
Absolutely. Ben, great work down there. Thank you so much. Well, again, the Knoxville Raceway push trucks, they're out there getting this track run back in so we can wrap up the final 15 laps here this evening. Don't go anywhere. The conclusion of the 20th annual Lucas Oil Knoxville Late Model Nationals presented by Your Life Iowa is coming up after this. Welcome back to Knoxville Raceway for the 20th annual Lucas Oil Knoxville Late Model Nationals presented by Your Life Iowa. 60 laps in the books, 15 laps remaining as we've waited out this weather delay by Mother Nature. As not only do we crown a champion of this race, James, we look to lock in the final driver in the Big River Steel Championship 4. As it stands right now, that is Tim McCready. Let's take a look at how the points shake out with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series here. 200 points goes to the winner of this race. Second gets 180, so it's a 20-point gap from first to second. And then it's 10-point increments from second to third and third to fourth. And then fourth on back, 5-point increments all the way down to 21st. 21st gets 75 points, 21st all the way back through the field. It was a 15-point advantage for Hudson O'Neal over Tim McCready coming into this race. McCready currently runs third. Hudson O'Neal is back in 16th. So if McCready stays in third, Hud would have to get all the way back to fifth to tie him. Hudson O'Neal does hold the tiebreaker by having more wins than Tim McCready.
And he also has some fresher rubber because will tire issue play into this? 15 to go, some issues.
That's a good call.
A couple drivers feel comfortable, but I know Marlar pitted, right? Owens and O'Neal, who run 16th, 17th, and 18th. Who knows, right, Ben?
And if you're Hudson, again, if you're Tim McCready, you've also got to be thinking about Brian Shirley, who is running second right now, who isn't sure if his motor's going to make it or if they were running low on fuel or whatever. You can't afford to get into Shirley on the restart. Well, so many storylines. Right now, I can tell you also, the breeze that has blown all afternoon is pretty much gone. If you look at the big American flag outside of turn number 1, Old Glory is just kind of hanging there. A little while ago, it was standing straight. It's humid, there's no wind, and we probably got about, I think we got enough time to get this in if they get the racetrack run in. If you look at the radar, we probably got an hour or so window before the next wave gets here.
All right, so Bobby Pierce, your race leader, he's led 55, O'Neal's led 8, so Bobby Pierce has led, 52 laps?
Yes.
In this race. McCready third, as they've all made it back out.
And for the fans here on the grounds as well, just a quick reminder, there is still one feature after this evening, the Malvern Bank Series feature, so the gates will not be open for fans to make their way into the pit area until after the final race has concluded here this evening.
By the way, Ryan Gustin, when he brought out the first caution, he restarted 32nd dead last again. He's up to 9th in this race, and he's not out of it yet. But Brian Shirley, he's got power in that car. Ben, can you hear anything down there or talk to the crew guys? Cam Ludwig, the crew chief, see if it was just a fuel issue.
Well, right now I'm not near the crew, but yeah, he's up to speed. He's scrubbing the tires out there right now, and maybe it was fuel. We knew fuel was going to be an issue for some of these guys, and if Brian went a little harder than the others early on picking up those spots, maybe he was starting to get the fuel away from the pickup. But he also thought that they were blowing up for like the past 15 laps, so I don't know that the fuel would have made it that long if that was the issue. Man, I tell you what, guys, so many storylines here on a huge night at Knoxville.
They're going to give these guys an opportunity to buzz this racetrack as well as, again, the track crews went out there and packed it back in, so it may be a few laps for them here to buzz this racetrack and make sure that it is good and racy. And, man, you talk about a fine line to walk here, James. You don't want them barreling off into the corner and hammering the wall. You also want to make sure that you've got as racy of a track. It's not like the beginning of the night, right, or the beginning of the feature where you log 15, 20, or 25 laps, Ben.
Well, the other story is if your tires are close to giving up, you also don't want to burn them up running the racetrack in. So it is a true chess match out there right now.
And Ben, you were down there looking at tires as well. I can only assume that tire wear is a major concern for most of these race teams.
I talked to 10 teams, and I only had one that felt good about their tire situation in the top 10.
You know, it's funny, James, because Ben and I were talking during coffee and breakfast this morning about how we were very honest. There weren't a ton of storylines heading into the night. Fast forward now to 15 laps to go, and I don't know that you can. I think you'd have to take your shoes off to count all the storylines that we've got here in this one with 15 remaining.
It's been pretty entertaining.
It's been good. It's been very good so far.
Yeah, the run for Brian Shirley, it may not be done yet. He needs one more spot to come on with a win. What does Gustin have left? McCready, Wilson, Moran, Alberson. From early on, Davenport's really not been a factor up front there, as he's back to 8th right now in 49. You figured, well, he's starting on the front row, and he is running in the 8th spot, as I mentioned, Ben.
Well, it's also a little note on your leader. He has started this race. Tonight is the 6th time Bobby Pierce has started this race. His best finish was in 3rd back in 2016, right after he got his first World 100 win. He just got his 2nd World 100 win 2 weeks ago, and tonight he's trying to get his first Knoxville title. He would be the 15th different driver to be a champion. Guys, the lights are out.
All right, well, the field getting lined back up in the Delaware double file restart. They'll do that until 10 to go. So still 15 laps to go in this one, so they'll do it until 10 to go, James. Bobby Pierce out front. Brian Shirley chooses the inside lane. That puts McCready on the outside. They fire, and we're back underway here at Knoxville.
At the NutriDeck Solutions restart zone, Shirley looks good into turn 1. Right now in that 2nd spot, but will it hold up? And we've got a caution. Dave Warren Power Sports caution.
Yeah, I wonder if maybe the 32 fired a little too early there. I don't know. We're in a separate room from race control. So no warning we're being told from race control. It was just that bunch them back up, and we're going to go back to green flag racing this time by 60 laps scored, 15 laps remaining in the Lucas Oil Late Model Knoxville Nationals.
McCready's going to 2nd. Here comes Moran on the outside of Shirley. Got a turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Moran will go to 3rd. Wilson now. Pressure from Alberson. Shepard on the outside. Bobby Pierce still leads in Knoxville. 14 laps away from his first big race win here in Iowa, Knoxville.
Hudson O'Neal, meanwhile, way back in the field as he's got a lot of cars to try to work around if he's going to make his way into the championship for and pursue his pursuit of a 2nd straight Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series championship. McCready now up to 2nd. Moran trying to work around the 3S of Brian Shirley. That's 3 cars under a blanket for the 2nd spot in this one with now 13 to go.
Well, if McCready gets that 4th spot, he's earned it, because he was out of it for a while and came back after that caution before the rain. And Shirley now, they go side by side in turn 3. But Bobby Pierce, that Vic Hill power plant under the hood of that Longhorn side by side for 2nd. Brian Shirley back to 2nd in car 3 as 63 complete.
And you're not missing anything in front of these drivers, I can tell you that, because Bobby Pierce has absolutely set sail after this rain delay. In 3 laps, he stretched out to nearly a 3-second advantage over the battle for 2nd you're watching between Brian Shirley and Tim McCready. Shirley back to the 2nd spot, and he's 2.6 seconds back, as there you just saw the gap, and it's a big one for the driver out of Oakwood, Illinois.
Garrett Alberson from 12th to 5th right now. Shepard 6th. Davenport Gustin up another spot to 8th. Younghans 9th. Wilson back to 10th. Chris Simpson 11th. Marlar back to 12th after pitting.
Yeah. Bobby Pierce now 10 laps to go. So if we have a caution from here on out, James, it will be a single file restart. Garrett Alberson continues his charge through the field as he's closed in on Devin Moran. That would be the battle for the 4th position. Behind them, Brandon Shepard 6th, and Ryan Gustin has come from 30th back on lap 19 up to 7th.
Down the main straightaway, there's the battle right there. Moran and McCready, that is for 3rd and 4th. Moran's already locked into the chase down the back straightaway. See a little bit of nose piece damage there on the left front of Devin's car. He goes wheel to wheel with McCready, and Moran will pick up another spot in 99, but Bobby Pierce is stretched out, and Dalton Wilson has problems in the 18D. And will we have a Dave Warren Power Sports caution? No, he heads to the infield, Desmond, out of this one.
Tough break for Dalton Wilson, who was running inside the top 5 when that rain came with 15 laps to go. We stay green in this one. Garrett Alberson has worked his way by Tim McCready. McCready now falling back to the 4th spot. Worth noting, though, Hudson O'Neal only in 17th. If it ended right now, McCready would lock into the championship 4.
The deficit right now is 2.5 seconds. Last time around as they worked lap 69. 6 laps to go for Bobby Pierce, trying to become the 15th different winner of this race that began in 2004. Brian Shirley, it's down to 2.1 as Pierce will pick up the tail end of the field. Does Brian Shirley have anything left? He's gone from 15th to 2nd. Right now, Devin Moran solid in 3rd.
And Devin Moran, as you said, Just 5 laps to go in this one. And Bobby Pierce, as you said, closed in on the back of the field. Brian Shirley continuing to close in. He takes another 3/10 off. There's the 3S in second. Devin Moran in the 99 runs third. Fourth is Garrett Alberson. Fifth right now is Tim McCready. Hudson O'Neal continues to run in 17th. Coming around this time, it'll be 4 laps to go.
Shirley is hard into the corners. Brian Shirley, 1.8 seconds. It's nothing between him and Pierce. Brian Shirley, watch this run into turn 3, Dustin. He gets his Pierce is trying to clear McCowan. He does. Moran third. Alberson is 4th. That might have done it for Bobby Pierce right there as he cleared field in front of him with 4 to go.
Yeah, just 3 laps to go now, but Brian Shirley took another 5/10 off Bobby Pierce's lead. This one may not be over yet.
Here he comes. Got to get around McCowan now.
He's pedaling hard, James. I tell you what, the last time by, he had a real good run on the inside of 3 and 4. It was 1.3 seconds last time by. This time by, 1.2. Shirley's coming, James. There he is, 2 to go.
Down the back straightaway to be the Barron's Performance. 1 lap to go. Brian Shirley, can he do it? Bobby Pierce. Shirley gets a run, but it's the Barron's Performance. 1 lap to go. The 2 Illini drivers out at turn 4 to settle it.
It was 1.2 seconds last time. Barron's Performance, 1 to go. Shirley takes 2/10 off. That won't be enough. Bobby Pierce with a run on the outside. Brian Shirley, is he close enough? Pierce will work around the 16 of Tyler Bruning as they head through turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Checkered flag in the air. The Lucas Oil Late Model Knoxville Nationals goes to the smooth operator, Bobby Pierce. Brian Shirley finishes 2nd. Devin Moran 3rd. Garrett Alberson 4th. And unofficially, Tim McCready finishes 5th. Hudson O'Neal will cross unofficially in 15th, and that would put Tim McCready in the 4th and final Big River Steel Championship 4 position, pending post-race tech in the UNOH scale area.
Bobby Pierce, 34th career win, 34th win this year. As he will go, as you mentioned, the UNOH scales, they will check weight. It's a pound per lap burn off. Normally you got to weigh 2350, take 75 off of that. It would be his 23rd career win in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. Brian Shirley drove the wheels off of that car. 15th to 2nd here tonight. Moran 3rd. Garrett Alberson started in 12th and runs 4th. McCready 5th.
Unofficially, Jimmy Owens from 27th to 11th. The Todd Steele Building's hard charger, he gained 16 positions. It goes by your original starting spot. But again, worth noting, Ryan Gustin involved in an accident or caution on lap number 19. He fell all the way back to, I think, 30th or 31st. 31st on that restart. He worked his way all the way back up to 7th unofficially in the final rundown as the cars make their way into the UNOH Tech and Scale area.
Don't forget, fans, you can't cross the track until after the Malvern Bank Super Late Model race is over. I know you want to get down there, and it's just a great atmosphere here in Knoxville after the races, but we've got another feature yet to go here as they will start making their way to the staging areas. We will interview the top 3 on the Big River Steel podium in Lucas Oil Victory Lane. Pierce, Shirley, and Moran unofficially right now.
Yeah, again, Garrett Alberson was 4th and Tim McCready was 5th. And as long as everyone passes post-race tech, it will be Tim McCready getting that final spot in that Big River Steel Championship 4 as he overtakes Hudson O'Neal. O'Neal had a 15-point advantage coming in, but McCready, by virtue of finishing 5th, will get 155 championship points, and Hudson O'Neal, by finishing 15th, will get 105 championship points. Ben?
Guys, it is official. Your winner of the 20th annual Lucas Oil Late Model Knoxville Nationals is Bobby Pierce. Kids, congratulations from the team. Jeff Lika and the boys down here, as he had to endure a mid-race challenge, and then he had to endure rain, and he gets the job done here tonight. And the event presented by Your Life Iowa's dad, the Hall of Famer Bob Pierce down here. Bobby, the winner last night. This will be his 23rd career all-time Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series win. And this will also be his 6th of the year as he gets set to climb out of the race car. As race fans, let him hear it. Your winner here tonight, Bobby Pierce. The confetti matches the race car, red, white, and black, as Land O'Lincoln gets it done here at Knoxville Raceway. $50,000 to the good, his 34th overall win of the year. And he's got the Sunoco checkered flag. He'll hop down and join me on top of the Big River Steel podium as he gets the job done and makes his way up here. And I tell you what, man, this is the car he won the World 100 in. Well, Bobby, we're going to have to work for it. The trophy's taller than us. But, man, talk to me about it. You jumped out to a commanding lead, and then you get passed for the top spot. And did you have any concerns if you had the car to beat, or was that part of the game plan?
Yeah, that's the problem being first on a restart like that. Track was going through a transition there, and kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. You go to the top, you might get passed on the bottom, vice versa. So Hudson got by me, but looked like he was struggling. He was kind of laid over and wasn't really getting off them corners, and I could tell how I was eating him up through the corner. And whenever you can be that close to somebody on this big of a track and you be right here on them, you know you got a good car, probably better than theirs. So he got a little tight off 4, and I had a good slider there in 1, and from then on it was just nerve-wracking, hanging on to the lead, don't jump the cushion. Back with Dunn Benson in 2018, racing for them, I think I slid Jimmy for the lead. I jumped the cushion, ended up not winning that race because of it. And last time I was here 2 years ago, we had some mechanical issues that took me out of the race when I was leading, and it feels great to win this race, man. We I don't know how many times I've been here, maybe 5 or 6 times, and awesome place. A lot of people have mixed concerns about it, but it's just such a unique track. Everything about this place is very unique. It doesn't really race like anywhere else, and it's a lot of fun out there. I'm just glad I had a really fast race car to be able to win tonight.
Bobby, the rain comes. Are you worried about tires on the restart?
Yeah, definitely. That was kind of a weird deal there. Typically when rain falls after halfway, they throw the checkered, but I guess they saw it was a little cell, and they thought they'd get us back out there quickly, and they did. So, hats off to them for letting us complete the race, giving the fans a full 75 laps. But I was definitely worried about tires, but not as much when, I kind of knew on before the restart I was pulling away. And with the rain, typically when it rains, the track, even the slick spots get a little tacky for a while. The nerve-wracking part was more so the racetrack, because they gave us like a quick maybe lap and a half to kind of feel the track out before they went, and the top felt slimy. So that's where I was running before the caution, and that was very nerve-wracking because I know Squirrel was kind of running the middle, and I didn't want to give him the middle and the top be slimy and him pass me. So I made the decision to run the bottom for like the first lap and a half after the restart, and then it kind of moved around and moved to the middle, moved to the top, and you had to chase it. And it's nerve-wracking to be the leader on a track that's transitioning every lap. So we got her done, and can't thank all these fans for sticking around enough. Thanks for lasting through the rain. I know some of them probably went home, but thanks to y'all that stuck around and watched. And once again, thanks to my crew, thanks to Knoxville, everyone here, Lucas. I got to thank my sponsors real quick. Rio Grande Waste Services, Low Voltage Solutions, Hoker Trucking, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Fast One Speed Shop, Carnegie Towing and Auto Repair, Ted Brown's Quality Paint Body Shop, Churchill Transport, Collins Brothers Towing, Performance Bodies, Go Lithium Batteries, Profab Headers, Longhorn Chassis, Vic Hill Engines. That combination was hitting tonight really, really good. Bilstein Shocks, Swift Springs, VP Racing Fuels, PureMax Oils, American Racing Wheels. Everybody, thank you.
Race fans, how about it? Your champion, Bobby Pierce. He's atop the Big River Steel podium.
All right, Ben's going to get on and grab a word with your second and third place finishers, Brian Shirley and Devin Moran, if they are down there. And Brian Shirley, close, oh so close. As Bobby Pierce, you see him down there signaling his team to come up there and get on the victory stage with him as he becomes a winner for the first time in his career in the Lucas Oil Late Model Knoxville Nationals. Brian Shirley comes home with a second place finish in this one here tonight, and he's caught up with Ben Shelton.
Well, Brian, the motor made it, a second place run. You actually closed in on Bobby late. Did you think you had anything left for him?
I definitely felt like my car was good. it's just one of those things, like on that restart, the motor it was just laying down, and it's just a tough one to be so close, you know, to be racing against the best guys in the business, and not very often do you get a race car that could be that phenomenal. So it just shows how hard work, you know, Anthony, Cam, everybody at Bob and Lisa Cohen, Thomason Express, Hoker Trucking, J&J Adventures, Algar Performance Parts, got to thank Longhorn Chassis, got to thank my wife, my kids. It's pretty cool. Two of my kids, it's birthday today, so wish it could have been a little different, but happy birthday to Drew and Briar, and we'll keep fighting.
Lando Lincoln second on the podium, Brian Shirley here tonight. And I tell you what, real quick, we'll have our third place on the Big River Steel podium. Well, you said that caution, that restart after the rain might help you. Devin, it did. You get a podium here tonight. What are the feelings as you leave Knoxville with a third place finish?
Yeah, you know, that's a Knoxville we come to race for. You know, they did a great job on the track with the weather, and I'm kind of glad that they didn't cancel it there. You know, they could have, and they didn't. It benefited me. So just glad to get out of here in one piece and ready to come back next year.
Devin Moran begins his pursuit of the first Lucas Oil Championship. He comes home third here tonight.
All right, Ben, thanks a lot. Let's go ahead and take a look at your Lucas Oil race recap and see how we got to this point with Bobby Pierce in victory lane here at Knoxville for the first time in his career over Brian Shirley and Devin Moran. 75 laps was the distance, James, and it started with Bobby Pierce and Jonathan Davenport bringing him to the green.
Yeah, I know we're in mid-September. He might have locked down the #1 driver in the country right now. He came into this race as it, and well-deserved here tonight. His 34th win. Brian Shirley again 15th to second, and Devin Moran rounding out the Big River Steel podium. But Bobby Pierce, man, we saw him a couple of weeks ago at Eldora, got his second win there in the World 100. Gets his first win here at Knoxville, Iowa on the Saturday night finale.
Hudson O'Neal was able to get in front of him and lead 8 laps in this race before Bobby Pierce got back by, and right there, trouble for the SSI Motorsports 71 of Hudson O'Neal. And unfortunately, after that, we had a rain delay. Hudson O'Neal would be unable to recover. He would end up finishing the race back in 15th position. Tim McCready grabbed the final Big River Steel spot in the championship 4, and Bobby Pierce was the winner here tonight. Ben Shelton, your final thoughts.
Well, final thoughts. It was a great race. We beat rain. Bobby Pierce becomes the 15th champion. Tim McCready, though, he's got a chance at a 3rd title. He gets that 4th spot in the Big River Steel Chase for the championship presented by ARP. Heartbreaker for Hudson O'Neal. We head off into a 7-race playoff.
All right, Ben, thanks so much. James Essex, that's a wrap on a great weekend of racing here at the Knoxville Raceway. Once again, capped off by the Lucas Oil Knoxville Late Model Nationals, and Bobby Pierce getting the win here tonight. He wins the event for the first time. For all the latest information on the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, go to lucasdirt.com. We appreciate you watching here as part of this MAV TV broadcast here this evening.